Hey everyone, Dr. Frunkey here with an awesome new knife video for you. Some of you may be thinking, that's not a new knife. Dr. Frunkey, you already reviewed that knife. That was your first video. That was your first YouTube clip. That was your first attempt at talking about a knife behind the camera. And that review went well, and a lot of you have watched it, but it had some flaws and it wasn't quite perfect. Just like the knife. When I talked about the Nirvana, there were some great points, like the integral handle. This is an incredible, incredible handle, perfectly done. But there were some problems, specifically with the blade and the blade finish. So I wanted to bring the knife out today because it has been reborn. Specifically, it's been reground. But there have been a couple of other changes to the channel as well, so bringing the Nirvana back is a good time to talk about some of the small changes that have gone on for the channel. First of all, I've gotten a new background here, so I've got a whole lot more space to work with. I'm going to be able to show the bigger knives and do a lot more fun things with this much larger background. This actually keeps going way out here and way out here, so I'm going to have some fun with that. Also, I've started to record this in a full 60 frames per second, so you may notice a difference in the appearance of everything. Let me know what you think. I tend to like this 60 frames per second. It kind of gives a much higher resolution picture, and it looks cool on the screen. So, let me know what you think about these changes down in the comments below. So back to the knife. Like I said, I was a bit disappointed with the blade, specifically the finish, because I had carried this knife for a couple of weeks, and within the first month of ownership, the blade had rusted in a few spots. And that was due to the fact that Spyderco sent this blade out with an acid stonewash finish. Acid stonewash does a couple of things to a blade that are suboptimal, to say the least. It creates a finish that will wear off easily. So it doesn't actually protect the blade from wear like one would hope. It actually shows more wear, but worse, it creates sort of a porous surface on the steel on a microscopic level, and it can generate rust. Even on an S90V blade like this that's highly corrosion resistant, the little rust spots formed with no problem. So that really sucked, and I was almost upset enough to sell the knife even though I thought it was so awesome and I wanted to keep it. But what happened was I came across a post on blade forums where a gentleman had sent his knife off to be reground. His Nirvana had been sent off to be reground. He sent it to this guy, Razor Edge Knives. This guy is Josh, super nice guy working out of Easley, South Carolina, next door to Greenville, South Carolina. The reason I mention that is that I grew up in those towns. I spent the vast majority of my youth between those two cities, and so it was awesome to see a small business owner doing knife work coming out of my hometown. So I wanted to support his work, show his work off, and definitely see what it was all about. He has a great series of YouTube videos on the Wicked Edge sharpening system. He is known as sort of a guru of that, and he has services where he will regrind or refinish pretty much any blade that you have in your collection. He's got an Instagram feed with some of his work. Highly recommended. Go and check him out. It's been long enough. It's been almost 4 minutes and I haven't even opened the knife yet. So let's get down to exactly what happened to this knife. Whoa. 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 Guys. Whoa. So, Josh offers refinishing and even regrinding services. So, on this post on the forums, the gentleman had shown a picture of a reground full flat grind Nirvana. I believe his name on YouTube might be Max D. He posted on my knife modification video. And I want to give credit where credit is due. His post on Blade Forums inspired this regrind here. So I got in touch with Josh at Razor Edge, sent him an email. He replied within a day and said, I'd be happy to redo your Nirvana. Go ahead and just mail it to me. And so I sent it in, and I sent it on Tuesday. Josh got it on Thursday. He shipped it back to me on Friday. So he finished this work within 24 hours of receiving the knife, and it is perfectly done. I cannot say enough about how well this knife is finished. I'm trying to show off how perfect the grind lines are and everything. So when he received the knife, he sent me a text, and he said, "What exactly do you want to have done to the Nirvana? I can either just do a full satin finish, or I can do the full flat, and what level of satin finish do you want?" So I opted for the full flat with the highest level of satin finish, which is 600 grit for him, and it is gorgeous. I'm trying to catch the light there. I hope it's not too much, but you can see the beautiful grind lines there. So he reground the blade and sent it back to me, and I wanted to just talk about the amazing things that regrinding this blade has done to this knife as a whole. So not only is this knife aesthetically much more striking now with this full satin finish, it's done some things very functionally. This was not just an aesthetic change. So the blade has got a lot of steel that's been removed, and so that has lightened the overall weight of the knife from 4.8 to 4.1 ounces. At 4.1 ounces, you're getting into pretty lightweight territory. This knife was not ultra heavy, but 5 ounces is noticeably different from 4 ounces in the pocket. And it's incredible. It's really lightened the knife. It's made it much more EDC friendly. But what it's also done in a functional sense is it's changed the balance of the knife. One of the problems with the original Nirvana was that the blade was so heavy that the balance point was way forward on the handle. It was about here where my finger is below. And that's not where your finger sits when you're holding the blade. Now the balance point is exactly on the finger choil. I can balance it pretty well right there already. And that is the natural holding position for this knife. And it changes the dynamics completely. It makes it much more friendly in the hand, much more easy to use, and it's incredible. So what he has also done in terms of the finish, he has polished or satin finished that top swedge, which you can appreciate there. It has thinned out the line that was on top of the swedge there, which is actually pretty cool. It's not sharp by any means, but it's got a nice feel to it now, and I really like that. But possibly the coolest part of the refinish you're going to see on the jimping right there. The satin finish has been done on the flat part, but the actual divots here where the jimping is still has the gray finish from the original knife, and it matches the handle, and it just gives it a really awesome contrast that gives it a really custom flair. So this knife has basically become a custom now, and for a reasonable price you can have this done to your Nirvana as well. I paid for the expedited service, which was a little bit extra. Well worth it. Happy to have it back, and if you want to just leave it with him for a couple of weeks, I'm sure he'll do it in a timely fashion for a little bit less than I paid for it, but that is okay. So I am happy to present this knife to you guys. I am happy and thrilled to talk about Josh at Razor Edge Knives and the amazing work that he's doing. If you have any interest in having your blade refinished or reground, give him a call, shoot him an email. He might be more available than some of these big name guys who have, you know, weeks and months and years of backlogs to finish. So let me know what you think about this reground Nirvana. This is definitely my favorite knife right now. This may trump even my favorite 0392 in terms of the best knife ever. Now, not every knife is perfect. This knife came with the lock stick that the Nirvana is well known for. I had to work on that and put some graphite down and everything, but now there's no lock stick. I got the centering back to perfect here, got some graphite on the lock face and on the blade tang, and it does not stick anymore. So thanks for watching the video, guys. Let me know what you think of this down in the comments below. I am in love with this knife. I could not be happier with the work that was done by Razor Edge Knives. So if you like this video, click like and subscribe. I'd really like to keep making videos here. I'm having a lot of fun doing this. I've invested in the future of this channel here, and I'm going to keep making some awesome content for you guys. Let me know if you want anything specific. Let me know what you think of the new format. And as always, take care. This is Dr. Frunkey.